Hi everyone and happy Friday. We have made it through to another week and it is crazy that we are almost in November. I literally can't believe it. And Halloween is tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Totally forgot. I have a bag of candy with my name on it after this. So today is 5 Tip Friday. We're going to be talking about a very important topic: conflict. And I am going to go out on a limb here and assume that everybody has had their fair share of conflict this year. It's been a year of a lot of changes, a lot of fear, a lot of adjustment, a lot of transitions, a lot of pivoting, just a lot, all of the things. And so I'm assuming that everybody has experienced some conflict this year because this year has looked very, very different. So we're gonna walk you through 5 tips for conflict management. Speedy, quick, short and sweet. The first tip is to accept that conflict happens. It will always happen. And so we don't have to have this sort of like negative idea that surrounds conflict. It can absolutely be an opportunity to connect and to grow into a relationship. So that kind of eases the tension when you approach conflict. Tip number 2 is use of iMessages to speak your truth. So iMessages are really just communicating in a way where you're speaking to your experience, your feelings, explaining how it was like for your shoes in that moment. So, and by using the word I. So what that sounds like is, for an example, I felt frustrated and ignored when that decision was made for our family without me. So you could say that instead of, you didn't include me with this decision and therefore like this is your fault that, you know, this happened. It's kind of the same message, but the way that you word it is going to be received so differently. So a great way, like just a template for iMessages, is I feel blank when or because blank. And you can even follow that up by communicating your needs and kind of setting boundaries if you need to. The next tip number 3, is active listening. So listen to hear instead of listening to form your next thought. I love that. I think that's such a good tip. Active listening really shows the person that you're talking to that you are present, you are engaged, you are listening, open body language, eye contact, you know, just being there, being present, I think is really important. Tip number 4, don't be afraid to take a time out, okay? This one, I have to remind myself of this all the time. Like, it's okay if you feel like you're not getting anywhere or you feel like things are escalating. It is absolutely fine to take a time out and revisit at a later time. So there should not be like an imaginary timer running in the background, and when the timer goes off, you need a resolution, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that way. Let's completely remove that pressure from ourselves in the situation. Tip number 5, and the last tip, is to agree to disagree. I also have to remind myself of this all the time. So this is the idea that you can absolutely end a conflict without agreeing and without being on the same page. It can, you know, you don't always have to both agree and be on the same side at the end of a conflict. Sometimes people just feel differently or believe different things or have different values, and that is absolutely okay. We have to respect that and agree to disagree. So hopefully these tips are helpful in navigating conflict in the future, and we love you from the Blush team. We hope you guys all have a safe and warm Halloween, and we'll see you next week.